he can do here, and more importantly what Gesture. We already talked about his adaptations on his Winston in their semifinals and their quarterfinals, most importantly their quarterfinals. But can he adapt his Reinhardt? Can he adapt it to the way they need to play it against the best Reinhardt out there in the world?
We do have the Runaway fan club here in our second map of the day, second map of the grand finals of APAC Premier 2017 between Runaway and GC Busan. It's going to be on King's Row, where they took MY to just put on a clinic.
Well, they got shut down really hard on first point, let's be honest. MY with the Bastion and the triple support comp. But after that, once they got into second phase, it did not matter at all, and we're going to see it again. Runaway doing something we saw before on Temple of Anubis, right in Hoxel and Torbjorn, and Kaiser will be on Orisa.
So the Orisa has come out before, not in this matchup quite yet, so that's the first time we get to see it. Cox on the high ground here with that McCree, the solo support, so they're able to just dish out so much damage. Hureg will fall. Now Ariel, though, does chase him down. It's going to be a 1-for-1 exchange. Hagopun finds a kill onto Hoxel.
Yeah, you can see the way Runaway are holding, sitting on the high ground, having the McCree at one window, the Torbjorn at the other window, but they're so far spread that you can't get any healing, you can't get any backup. The Halt has come in to pull them together. The Prophet, he's got high energy, and he's not having too much pressure towards him. The Strip Tire is going to try to stall for a little bit of time, but to be honest, it's not really going to get many kills, or shouldn't.
Yeah, they got taken out by Hagopun right now. They are just trying to stall this out, but Hureg finally able to get the kill on that Bastion. Surprising, up against a triple tank, or a double tank, that he's only got 25%.
So this is where it's going to be hard for Runaway to adapt their composition. If GC Busan want to switch Hureg off of the Bastion, Runaway cannot switch compositions anymore to deal with it because they've already come back from spawn and they're trying to hold this doorway. So with Hureg going over now to Pharah, Runaway has no responses. They have no answer to a Pharah. But then again, yesterday they went up against MY when we saw the Pharah being used. They would take a lot of damage, but they would still win the ground battles.
We'll see if Gesture, or excuse me, if Stitch can deal with Hureg in the sky. It's going to be the primary DPS dealer, is the only DPS dealer on their side. It's going to be the Transcendence coming out. A huge shatter came out from Gesture there. And instantly they pounce on the side of GC Busan. Janu just trying to stall out the point for as long as possible, but he will fall, and that's going to be the team wipe.
All right, it's not a good start for Runaway at all. Again, they had to change Hoxel from Torbjorn over to Zarya, so there's no chance for Graviton. Now Prophet's going to have his own grab. They also have a self-destruct to throw into the mix here. This is going to be deadly, actually.
Yeah, Stitch
I
is swapped off.
don't see Busan really making their way, or so I don't really see Runaway making their way to contest too easily. You have to hope that maybe Janu can eat the grab.
There's the grab. Here comes the self-destruct. The bigger bang only connects onto Stitch. But they do get the D-Mech as Bumper tries to get them back into this. It's going to be the double res. The Valkyrie is committed into it, but they haven't lost anyone on the side of GC Busan.
Well, Closer will go down, and Kaiser will get a kill on a Gesture, so they're actually fighting back, but I think GC Busan just have enough kills themselves, not to mention the barrage to come through, and they will take the second point. And this snowball that's happening is all due to the composition that Runaway started things off with. They had the Orisa, they had the Torbjorn, but then Kaiser had no way of ever matching up against Gesture in terms of ultimate percentage. So their shooter was there earlier for Gesture, which he got, I think, ahead of Kaiser's shield and slammed down on second point. And Runaway are constantly fighting out on the back foot.
Hureg swapping off onto the Widowmaker. Almost got the kill.
I could hear the punch there.
Cox. Now, the high ground being contested. He's going to repel back in. Will he land any of these shots, though? Charge came out. There's the Earthshatter. Does not connect out from Gesture this time. It's Janu coming in. That's the three-man self-destruct.
And they needed that. They so needed something to hold this pressure, and they do it off the back of a blocked Earthshatter to Kaiser and the self-destruct out of Janu. Now Hoxel, he has the opportunity with his own Graviton to win themselves another fight. Runaway does not have Ana, though. And the Transcendence out of Hagopyeon can completely mitigate this entire ultimate that might come through. So we might see like a grab and an Earthshatter to follow up with after, once the grab's about to finish, because that way the Transcendence won't be able to protect you. Or they just use a Deadeye.
Grab comes out, Kaiser goes in for the charge, gets rid of the shield. That's gonna allow him to get a two-man Deadeye. Stitch on this McCree, we've seen him so far doing a standout job on it.
And let's see how now Kaiser deals with a shatter here. Yeah, Stitch, his McCree's been great, and we already knew he had a good McCree and a good Junkrat, but he's just really showing this is another hero that he's added to his repertoire of heroes that he can play. Hurek, though, on the Widow hasn't been too effective. I think Runaway played really smart here by sitting behind the shield really well, and there's no real way to burst it down for GC Busan. There's no Roadhog, there's no Junkrat, there's no Reaper, but now Hurek gets himself free. He gets on the high ground, and he can attack the back line.
Graviton Surge comes out, the first kill. It's going to be Kaiser falling, the bigger bang is going to be used. And they've lost 3 members as they try to res back into this, but GC Busan are going to chase them all the way to spawn. Oxal will go down as Hurek connects with that shot.
Oh, they're trying to get the kill on the Bumper, but he does escape. Kaiser charges back out towards his death. The payload's being contested for now, but to be honest, I think Runaway are just running out of men.
They are running out of men indeed. Cox, he just needs to stay alive for a second longer to try and delay this out, but no one's on the point. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock for GC Busan.
So Jamerson, we didn't get to touch on this, or we didn't really get to talk about it in our predictions for the series. And I think something I'm kind of agreeing on in my head is the series is either going to be extremely close or it's going to be a stomp. And that doesn't sound like a very John Madden thing to say. It's like, oh yeah, of course it's going to be one of those. But I don't think that if GC Busan keep playing like this, that they're going to drop the map. There's a potential for a 4-0 here in Runaway. They're the ones that have to come up with a new plan. Yeah, they looked weaker on this new meta, this new patch. Kaiser's looked only stronger when he's been allowed to play. But that first point defense caused them to lose second point.
It was a giant snowball.
There was there was almost no way they could have stopped that. Yeah, maybe block the Earth Shatter, but with the way Gesture jumped around the corner, I don't think Kaiser could have blocked it. And they cost them first and second. Even the way they were holding first point was really awkward with having Torber in one of the windows, McCree in one of the windows. It's like Ariel's like, okay, well, McCree won't 1v1 me, a Torber won't 1v1 me, and he just flies up, gets a kill, and there's no chance to get a res there.
It is definitely a double-edged sword when you run that Torbrisa, and then also the solo healer Cox on McCree. As you do move into Streets phase, they have to swap off onto 3 separate heroes. Cox back onto the Zenyatta, Kaiser onto the Reinhardt, and then Stitch having to swap over because, well, the Junkrat really didn't work, and especially in Streets phase.
And it actually almost worked too. The Junkrat pick in particular I'm talking about because he actually destroyed Jester's shield really quickly. But he was being spammed down. I think I actually was surprised to see Kaiser's Orisa shield just get blown up so quickly where Stitch was holding. But we're going to see Runaway attack now. And it looks like they want to run triple tank as well. They're not going to be running a Ana into this. And GC Busan are even thinking about using an Orisa. But they're going to switch over to Reinhardt, and they're going to run triple tank themselves. So with the Soldier, I'd imagine Hureg's going to sit high ground. He's going to sit away from the rest of his team to try to bait in Janu, or he can run away and stay alive. And I think that's the big problem that Runaway now has to kind of compete with. They don't really have anyone who can get up there except maybe Janu.
Triple tank versus triple tank. It's Cox that starts it all off. Prophet has fallen, getting the instant res, but Cox finds the second kill, taking out Closer now. It's a 5v6 in favor of Runaway here, but they have just lost Stitch.
Again, a lot of commitment over towards Cox with these reses throughout the entirety of this tournament. Kaiser knocked into the air, and Hurek is not being stopped. He's just getting so much free damage off. Finally, there's going to be a fire strike that comes his way, but he already has 70% on his TAC visor.
This is going to be dangerous now. Bumper was able to get out of dodge there, running into Hotel. Still, Prophet going to shut down Cox, and they're going to delay this next push.
Now Hurek actually very low in health now, down to 80. He's constantly being spammed away by Stitch, and occasionally a shot out of Cox. A Transcendence coming out of Hocket Pit. I'm not sure exactly why, but they want to kill Hawksaw since he is high charge.
He is high charge, and they're even to go ahead and use that tactical visor as Bumper tries to come in for the res. Hawksaw will fall for a second time as Hagapun takes him out with the Orbs of Destruction.
Counter Trans going to be pushing, helping them push it. Kaiser again going to go for the charge, but he's discorded and he's being focused down. Ariel's going to get the kill. Even a Graviton being invested in a Prophet as he pulls all of them together with max energy and quickly cleans up Runaway. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here for Runaway to have any progress. They've gotten to the point maybe once, but they died immediately after.
I don't agree with that trance coming out from Cox. I'm not too sure what they were expecting. Kaiser will have the Earth Shatter for this next fight, along with that self-destruct. So if they combo those, maybe this will open up the defense.
I think Gesture's playing this so smart too, not letting his shield get spammed too hard.
Oh, wow. Ariel finds a perfect self-destruct. Once again, Cox and Bumper have fallen, and now Runaway, they're running out of time. 2 minutes left on the clock for them.
They have stored a lot of ultimates though, at least. They have these big 4. I think they're going to use maybe like the Riptire to be like the engagement. Maybe try to like look to get it around or on the high ground, especially if GC Busan stay this far pushed up. But Runaway just keep losing men. Prophet just spamming right clicks all day. Is already 50% towards his next Graviton. He's looking to spam onto Jaru to build up even quicker. And Runaway, yeah, you have all the ultimates in the world to work with, but if you keep losing people before you can even push in, then good luck making any progress.
Yeah, with those picks, they burned away another 30 seconds. Now they are making their approach here. Our Runaway.
Oh, he got eaten
Graviton
again!
gets eaten. Hoxall not able to connect with it. The Transcendence is out from Hagapun, though. They still have 2 more ultimates in the bag for the side of Runaway. It's going to be the self-destruct used by Janu just to get his mech back, but he falls to Aerial, and now Runaway down to 1 minute and 10 seconds.
And Prophet has another Graviton to go. This man with the highest KDA in Apex, I think he's been maintaining it through here, especially on the Zarya. And again, Runaway didn't really have much to focus him down. You had only like a Junkrat to spam away, and now Runaway gonna be switching off to different heroes. They have a Genji and a Tracer.
Kaiser, he had the Earth Shatter. He hadn't been able to use it. Graviton Surge comes out, it connects onto everyone, and it's just a bloodbath for GC Busan.
Runaway have no response to this at all. Cox is trying to build it towards the Transcendence. Bumper will have his Valkyrie. So at least Runaway can be kind of happy that GC Busan did commit the self-destruct and the Graviton there, but still is Earth Shatter ready for Gesture. There's nothing on Runaway to block this. They're going to try to go for full dive here, switching things up in the last few seconds against GC Busan, and they have been able to get some progress here. They had Hagapun killed, and they're looking to push, but the Earth Shatter has come down.
Earth Shatter does come out, but the Transcendence is there to keep him alive for now. Hurek with another tactical visor, but now he's getting dove upon. It's gonna be Stitch that finishes him off. Bumper brings back Hoxall, but still Aerial is alive, and he is killing as Gesture takes out Kaiser now. It's gonna be a 5v5 on the point, but they are starting to lose bodies as Cox falls. Bumper is still alive, and it's Hoxall once again. The Genji extraordinaire himself, picking up 2 kills on both takes. Prophet, he's got the Graviton Surge. He's gonna come in from behind. He sends it in, and it's Bumper that he catches. He'll get the kill, but Stitch answers right on back. And just in the nick of time, Runaway, they will cap point A.
That was way too close though. Prophet was almost able to turn that around, and such a scrappy fight for Runaway. Cox, he was even forced to switch over to Soldier once he did die, as he used that trance so early on the fight. So there's no way now Runaway is going to be able to compete with the time bait that GC Busan has, but with the rate they're playing, I think they're going to have a hard enough time just finishing this map.
I mean, there are multiple ways that GC Busan can approach this, right? They can just try and solve the point, whittle away at Runaway's time, and even if they completed in overtime, GC Busan, they're going to have 3 minutes and 12 seconds to capture a third.
It's a very good point, Jamerson. But Runaway, they're not thinking about the second half, I guess. They're looking at just trying to finish the map here. Kaiser does get dropped when he pushes in, but Stitch with a great pulse bomb connects onto 2. Prophet's gonna be brought back to life. No Graviton for him anytime soon, but Hoxall with 0 pressure onto him has another blade ready to go.
Now, without a secondary res, they can't really fight back into this. Prophet will fall as Hoxall is now getting the dash resets. Hurek still left alive on the stairs. He is gonna have the flank. Now he's getting chased down by Kaiser, and he runs into the rest of Runaway.
So one thing GC Busan did really well against Runaway in Apex in the Grand Finals was they caught the dive so perfectly. The difference now is that they don't have the Lucio to speed themselves away to escape the dive. So it's a lot harder for GC Busan to position themselves in that position to actually catch it.
GC Busan just trying to stall out the point. Transcendence will come out from Hagapun here. They're fighting back into this, but there's no real damage going across onto the side of Runaway. It's going to be the blade once again coming out from Hoxall as he's trying to focus down the Zarya, who's standing on her head. They're going to exchange lives, but it's the res coming out from both sides. Man advantage now on the side, on the favor of Runaway. They've got the kill. They're pushing forward. Closer, bringing back Hagapun. He had to commit the Valkyrie. Both sides committing the Valkyrie now, but no one's on the point. And Runaway, they will secure second, moving on to third.
All right, that was actually really quick. They didn't get held up at all in the second phase, and now looking towards third. What are they going to have? Hurek is still on the Soldier, and he's still sitting very far back. Runaway have no response to really deal with it. They're just hoping to kill the front line, but there's the switch coming in. Gesture getting off the Reinhardt, over to Winston, and Hurek going over to the Tracer. So pretty much exact same compositions going between the two teams, except GC Busan have the Graviton in the triple tank.
And it was Prophet's Graviton on third here during their offense that allowed them to just snowball forward. There's the Graviton Surge. They got 2 kills now. Bumper has fallen. Closer with the res, bringing Prophet right back into this Runaway. They're trying to reset, but they're getting straggled.
All right, so what? James, there's a minute 30 left to go. The chance of them finishing with time left is going to be very, very minimal. So they're looking at a potentially a first point hold, the first third hold, if they continue to cap it. But look at Hureg, he's actually played very far pushed up. I wonder if he's going to try to focus down on Cox. If they get this kill onto him without having a Transcendence now up, it's going to be very difficult. And actually holding so far up that they can drop in with a Tracer, they can drop in with Gesture on Winston, and they're going to focus one of these. They're going to focus one of the supports. Look at this.
Hoxall already dropping down low. Stitch spots out Hureg here as he's trying to be that pest in the back line, but he's got to be careful. The rest of his team have fallen back now.
Look at Prophet, 80% almost on his Graviton again after he used it in this last fight. Runaway need to stop feeding this man's energy. He has 90% now. He's gonna have a shield to block the self-destruct. He's gonna be at 100 energy here, and that'll be the res finally coming in for Hagopun, and the Graviton has gone down.
Graviton has come out, but Cox is there with that Transcendence to keep them alive. Gesture kept alive himself by the Transcendence from Hagopun, but now Runaway pushing forward. They know they have the advantage. Not anymore, as Gesture, who had swapped off onto that Winston with the Primal Rage, gets the kill onto Cox, forcing out the res. Prophet just connecting with a beautiful right click onto Stitch.
And he's still building up energy, 40% on his next Graviton already. Ariel's gonna have a self-destruct to throw onto the payload in the last seconds. Hoxall needs a blade, and he needs it now. The closer has the Valkyrie advantage. They have support ultimates against Runaway. Here we go, Jameson, 3 seconds left.
We are now in overtime. Hoxall got the first frag onto Gesture, but Ariel with the self-destruct time and again, connecting onto Bumper, and now they don't have the res. Prophet, he gets the D-Mech, he gets the Graviton Surge. There's a big bang coming up from Janu, though.
What was that? How did this man just get a triple kill when GC Busan had a guaranteed fight victory there, a guaranteed map victory? Stitch gets the kill to closer, and the payload's moving. The payload is progressing, and Kaiser switching over to Reinhardt for the last engagement. Hoxall's blade is going to be key for this victory.
Prophet, he's now swapped off onto the Maid. They can't get off the point
that.
On the side of Runaway. Do not leave the point, Runaway. You need to keep your hopes alive here on Kings Row. Hoxall now is the hope with that blade. Got the first kill onto Gesture, and they swapped off onto Lucio to try and contest faster so they don't have the res on the side of GC Busan. Prophet still with this Maid, not able to do much at all, as Janu is just sitting there with the defense matrix, shutting him down now. They're stalling as best they can, as we do have that ice block along with the ball, along with the wall, but Hawks just in the back line dishing out the damage, and Runaway have done it. We are gonna go to a second half.
Dear Lord, that could have gone completely differently if Janu didn't hit that 3K with the self-destruct, and GC Busan, I think they were getting 100% cocky at the end. We saw Prophet, sorry, he Gravitoned onto a wall, but high up on the wall. And I point that out because Hureg had his pulse bomb. They had a big bang combo, but because he threw it high into the wall to catch Bumper, there was no chance to combo those two ultimates together. They won the fight anyways, but you can tell the pressure was getting to them. They were definitely getting cocky, assuming that they were going to win this. When Prophet is getting like 3 grabs in the final phase, you know they're feeling that they can take this map, but that confidence was their downfall. And Janu hitting a triple kill to self-destruct allowed them now to potentially pull off a draw. Keep in mind, if they do not get this third, we're going to another hybrid.
Another hybrid map, but still, this is
an 8-map best of 7, Jamerson. You ready for it?
3 minutes and 12 seconds left on the side for GC Busan, so they have time to spot out basically what the defense is running on Runaway, and then they can make the proper adjustments there. That's why Runaway are in such a terrible position to be in. Stitch is going to be on the Soldier 76 for the defense. They want to have more long-range hit scan. They want the poke to be able to try and deal with what GC Busan running out the gates. Hureg doesn't like what he sees. He's going to swap off from that Pharah. Prophet will stay with that Junkrat.
All right, so all it takes is one shot of Hureg pretty much to shut this down. If you catch Bumper, who's already at half HP, that's all they need to get this first point, this first tick. Stitch will finally be able to respawn back, but they're still playing down a healer and they're playing down a res.
Prophet is brought back into this fight now, and Hureg just free to stay way far back, safe. There's no one to deal with him whatsoever, and he's just peppering away with these body shots. Kaiser will be the next one to fall as Stitch gets the res, but no one is on the point, and it's going to be GC Busan now, taking an early 2-0 lead up against Runaway.
Even though that was such a clean take on the first go for GC Busan, it's such a clean take to close out the map. Gotta give credit to Runaway in the heart for the team to at least finish the map on their attacking half. wasn't the greatest of starts, and they really, really struggled on first point, Jamerson.
Yeah.
They tried running an odd composition, then when they realized, okay, this Reinhardt comp is not working, they had to switch things over to Winston, they had to go back to full dive.